So today is a little bit different. You can see cameraman's in the background cutting some spokes, a little bit busy. What we're gonna do today, I'm gonna build up DYNO VFR, freshly powder coated, South Coast powder coating. Our homie Alan over there. So normally Max is the one holding the camera, but he's busy. We got a lot of fresh new chrome parts, Lakers purple, but then we're gonna mix it with some of the old parts too, okay? We're using the Odyssey Aikens rail seat. Make sure all the dust is out of there. Okay. Bearing grease that we use from O'Reilly's BMX bike themselves. They get tortured, they get beat up, and guess what? The life expectancy of a BMX bike is not that long. So this grease we use red because we know it's when it gets dirty. If you use black grease, it gets dirty, you don't know. White grease, I can't stand that thing, dude. The red grease, it's the one we use. The light film, I know it looks like a lot, but I'm just gonna go through it. Nothing fancy, just a chrome unsealed. Doesn't really matter. It does matter if you don't drop everything. Doesn't really matter what brand, they're all the same when it comes to loose ball like this. The gentleman doesn't want to go with sealed, he wants to keep it a little bit classic. That's perfectly fine. I prefer to do one cup at a time here. There you go, and then I'll start on the other side. For the headset, just using the basic 10G loose ball one. They do make a seal bottom cup. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put the fork together. Before I do that, you notice inside there's nothing. We're gonna put this thing in, the star nut. You need one of these. It screws right in right here, and you hit it right in. Okay, make sure it's straight, tap. There you go. Race goes in first, goes at the bottom. Race setting tool. We're gonna grease up these bearings. Now, if you happen to mix it up, these ones are the same. Now, be careful, there's certain headsets where they are different. For this one's the same. So if anything, you notice how I kept it like that? So that I know exactly which way it goes. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna lightly grease the cup. Look at how this is faced. See how that one side's flat? One side's the bearing? That's the order it's supposed to go in. The bearing facing up. And now that we got the grease, upper race goes in first. Then you got the cone, go in, and then the dust cap. I'm doing this to measure it. You could put it on the bottom and this on top, or you vice versa. I'm gonna do this. It's a lot cleaner. This goes in. See how this is slightly below? When I put this thing in, it's just gonna barely snug it. Sometimes it's flush. When you tighten it, it hits this part. And that's why the headset's a little bit loose. There you go. All good. Guys always wanna put crisscross action right here. I'm not gonna vice it down until this bike gets on the ground. Looking good, looking good. Okay, look at the sprocket, guys. Chrome, real nice chrome. We're gonna go with anodized purple. I know it doesn't exactly match, but this is the closest we can get. Guys, keep in mind, anybody's gonna chrome for you, just make sure you do not chrome past where my fingernails right here, or else the thread's not gonna go in. Snug it up. Remember the backside, see how it's all hollow? I want to just shove the grease into there. The SE wheels, cost effective, really good. Double wall rim, seal bearings, got that old school cut out the hubs. Freewheel, we're using ACS, just a classic, nothing fancy, none of that like, you know, $100 freewheel. GT Heritage repop tires. Get the KMC. This is one of the newer chain. I know some of you guys thought that's not new. You know the traditional number 8 shape, hourglass shape. They changed it to this one. We normally don't use a Master Link guy, but customer preferred it. There we go. See how I pushed it?
I tried.
Brakes. This is the original brakes. Yes, guys, we are going to change the pad. Clean it to the best I can. But he wanted to use the original one. Perfectly fine. I can make these things work great. Now, one other thing where I was glad he didn't chrome these. Just want to let you guys know. A lot of time when they chrome, the original material actually gets thicker. On some of these parts, you guys never see me do it, but we're sitting there filing and doing all this. Now this is something I really don't want to show you guys, but I'm going to go ahead and show it to you guys because you guys know I'm pretty straightforward. You see how that's all gone? Even though it's thin, but it's thick enough where this bolt would not slide through. So you can't just file that out, because you file that out, then it doesn't fit because it's the thread. So this thing right here, you got no choice. So if you guys notice, there's some copper down there. Guys, if you're gonna go chrome anything, tell your chromer, hey man, take it easy on the copper and take it easy on the chrome, especially right here. Or else have them file the metal down first and then go do it. Now imagine if we would have went and chromed this, a lot of this stuff wouldn't fit. Some of you guys are like, yeah, you know, unless the chromer know what they're doing. Well, I'm not the chromer. I just know what I'm doing by putting a bike together. The threadless post might be one of the biggest nightmare. You guys, some of you guys work on your own bike, you guys know. Tell me your threadless brake post stories. You guys can see it's a little bit weather. We can go and we got a bunch of new ones, but this is per my recommendation. A lot of the stuff that you see visually, I like to keep original. I try to clean it as much as I can. We're gonna go and use this, unless you can find this one used. But check this out, guys. Not even close. Remember what I was saying about the chrome? I'll tell you right now, this is gonna be a big problem. This thing is not gonna fit. We're gonna try to open this thing up a little bit and try to squeeze it through. But guys, I'm gonna stress it again. I'm probably gonna stress it a couple more times throughout this video. When you guys chrome stuff, keep in mind, thinner chrome. Don't, you know that triple chrome crap? It doesn't fly, dude. It's just gonna be a big problem. I have to go to this extent to get this on. See, look how easy it's sliding now because that little lip they have right here. Any old school build, we're gonna put Amy. Pedals. Now some of you guys might be like, oh my God, that's gross. Guys, this was my advice. They're GT, original one. There's a lot of staining involved. We can go and clean this out. But remember, with everything, there's cost. We would have to dissect all this, send the body over to Reese over at Rocket Blasting. He would have gone and blast all that. The owner of the bike goes, dude, let's do that. I go, look, dude, to be honest with you, we're gonna do it. You're gonna go ride it, and it's gonna look all dingy again. I gave them the green light to not go ahead and do this because the pedals, this is not gonna be shown by he's actually gonna ride this. So that's why the pedals look a little bit grimy. Sometimes people are like, dude, I cannot tell which one's left and right. Guys, you see all these little ridges right here? Compared to this side, see how smooth? The ridges indicate to you that these are left side. You see how the body is kind of skewed that way? That also, it always points forward. You know, if you put it on and it's italicizing how I would say it, going the other way, then you got it on wrong. What you try to do last is the brakes. Even though I mounted the brakes earlier, did all that, I do the brakes last because why? The wheel's tight, handlebars straight, all that. That's when I decide I'm gonna do the brakes. The brakes I already have a pre-cut. This one is just Sunday. That's what we have black. There's all options. Tell you guys right now, all the brakes that are linear style, they're the same. People tell you there's otherwise, no there isn't. Make sure you lube up the cable. And here we go. Insert the ball facing here. It in. Make sure the barrels is straight. Goes in. Tighten it so it doesn't come out. Like this. Here. Run right here. Okay. A little short. That's because we're gonna trim it. Okay. Okay, guys. You guys notice this side's pulling a little bit stronger than this. This only one side. This side doesn't have. This side's a spring. This side has the adjustable piece right here, guys. So watch. Number 10. I'm gonna squeeze. I'm gonna reduce it. There. It looks like it's pulling in unison. There you go. I'm gonna make sure this is center. This is all straight. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna trim. Wrap it up. Okay. I'm gonna do some little minor things. Max is gonna work the camera. And we'll see. I like to leave a little bit right there. Some of you guys like to trim it. That's fine. If it's your own bike, you do it. But this is how I leave a little bit of room for adjustment. Same thing here. You could trim it all the way up here. I'm gonna trim it. Usually I like to give it about maybe 1.5 inches. You know, I don't know what kind of prison trick you guys got. You guys like to tuck it away. But that's all up to you. Crimp, real light. Gonna bend this guy in. Get out of the way. There, check. Like butter. I think we're good. Now we're just gonna lower this flag post, and we should be good. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe the bike down a little bit before I bring it off the stand. Okay, guys, I'm doing the sticker. You guys see the other one? What we do is we use transfer tape, so therefore we don't get our fingerprint on it. Okay.